For longtime Dungeons & Dragons players, keeping a campaign fresh can be a challenge. After countless dungeon crawls, epic battles, and heroic quests, even the most imaginative dungeon masters, DMs, may feel like they've explored every possible adventure. But one of the best ways to shake things up is to mix genres, blending the traditional fantasy setting with unexpected elements to create a unique and exciting experience. Why genre blending works in Dungeons & Dragons. At its core, Dungeons & Dragons is a storytelling game. While it was originally designed as a high fantasy adventure, its open-ended structure allows for endless customization. Over the years, official campaigns and homebrew adventures have embraced horror, swashbuckling pirate escapades, and even steampunk elements. But the potential doesn't stop there. D&D can be transformed into Western shootouts, samurai duels, gothic mysteries, or even superhero sagas with just a few key adjustments. By blending genres, DMs can surprise their players with fresh narratives and mechanics, introduce new role-playing opportunities that challenge players to think differently, create a distinct atmosphere that reinvigorates long-running campaigns. Exploring unique genre mashups. 1. The Wild West meets D&D. A dusty frontier town replaces the typical medieval village, complete with a corrupt sheriff, outlaws, and a high-stakes poker game in a saloon. Instead of guns, duels are fought with enchanted crossbows or spell-slinging standoffs. Abandoned mines can serve as eerie dungeons filled with restless spirits or ancient relics. 2. Samurai and mythical warriors. Inspired by feudal Japan, this setting could feature rival warlords, noble ronin, and powerful enchanted weapons. Magic could be woven into the concept of ki, and instead of knights, the land is protected by wandering samurai or mystical monks. A sentient katana could serve as a legendary artifact with its own will and motivations. 3. Noir detective mystery. Set in a mist-covered city, this campaign could revolve around solving a high-profile crime. The usual thieves' guilds and corrupt nobles are now crime syndicates and powerful politicians, while the party plays the role of detectives, informants, and double agents. Instead of sword fights, the tension builds through shadowy backroom deals, high-stakes interrogations, and thrilling rooftop chases. 4. Cosmic horror and eldritch intrigue. Taking inspiration from H.P. Lovecraft, this twist on D&D introduces unspeakable horrors, mind-breaking artifacts, and cults worshipping interdimensional beings. Sanity mechanics could replace traditional death mechanics, and instead of dragons, the true enemy might be an unknowable force lurking just beyond reality. 5. Superhero fantasy saga. Instead of traditional adventurers, the party consists of legendary heroes imbued with godlike powers. Their goal? Protecting a sprawling metropolis from supernatural threats. Magic and divine blessings take the place of superpowers, while villains range from rogue wizards to masked assassins. Epic one-on-one battles and high-flying action make this a departure from typical dungeon crawling. How to integrate genre elements seamlessly. 1. Modify the setting. A world's aesthetic, culture, and environment define its genre. Shifting the setting from medieval castles to futuristic cities, haunted mansions, or endless deserts immediately changes the campaign's feel. 2. Adjust mechanics. A D&D Western may introduce a quick draw mechanic for duels, while a noir setting might emphasize investigation skills and social encounters over combat. DMs can adapt existing rules or homebrew new mechanics to reflect the chosen genre. 3. Reinvent NPCs and tropes. Familiar characters and archetypes from different genres can be adapted into D&D. A crime lord in a cyberpunk city could be a mind flayer manipulating politics behind the scenes. A wandering ronin in a samurai story might be an exiled paladin searching for redemption. 4. Maintain fantasy roots. Even when experimenting with genre, Dungeons & Dragons remains a fantasy game. Instead of removing magic, blend it creatively into the new setting. A Western outlaw might wield enchanted bullets, while a noir detective could use divination spells to solve crimes. A fresh take on adventure. By blending genres, DMs can craft a world that feels both familiar and refreshingly new. Whether it's a supernatural horror campaign, a sci-fi dystopia, or a sprawling pirate odyssey, D&D offers infinite storytelling possibilities. Don't be afraid to experiment. After all, the best adventures are the ones no one sees coming.